Here's a quick video we put together showing the setup for our Patriot Campers X3, and what better place than the beautiful Nymboida River Campground. Nymboida River Campground offers quite a few options for set-up places. There's a central area with barbecue tables, toilets and fire pits, really well suited to groups, or you can find your own spot down along the riverbank. We had the whole place to ourselves, one of the benefits of midweek camping, but we still chose to go right down the far end, well away from campground, and a beautiful spot right on the side of the river. The gravel road into Nymboida left the rig quite dusty. Often in this situation, when you're unpacking and opening drawers and compartments, all of that dirt falls inside your camper and your car, so when we can, we carry a small blower and give the rig a good dust down before setting up. Once finding a good setup spot, the first job is to unhitch the tow vehicle. You notice that we've replaced the jockey wheel on our camper with an Arco version. It stays mounted to the trailer and offers quite a bit of adjustment. The first part of the setup is to get the trailer itself as level as we can, put some wheel chocks under it and get it all set up for opening of the hardtop lid. The gas strut on the hardtop makes it a one-person job, but it's always easier if there's two. If I'm on my own, I tend to stand up on the drawbar so I can get a bit more leverage to throw the lid over. Once the hardtop's open, I normally drop the stabilising leg. Sometimes I do it beforehand and get the ladder set up. Now, X3 owners will know that the ladder is a little bit too long. So wherever I can, I set up so that the ground is falling away from the camper. Helps with camp drainage, but also allows that ladder to open without holding the bed up at a crazy angle. I find it's easiest to put the three attachments of the tropical roof onto the awning bracket before I raise the awning. That way you're not having to reach up high. Next job is to raise the awning up on its support stands so that we can get in and clip the tent to the trailer body itself. We'll work right around the trailer, make sure that all of those clips and velcros are done up, and then we'll jump inside and raise the tent hoops to tension the tent. Take a bit of care not to push the tent hoops up too tight. If you make the canvas too tight, it can also cause the bed to not sit down at the right angle, and can also cause your tie downs of the tent around the body of the camper to lift up and let in any rain and drafts. In this case, I decided to stabilise the camper after the bed was all set up, just to make sure that the angle of the bed was going to be nice and comfortable at night. What I didn't mention already, we prefer to drop the camper down on the bump stops when we get set up, and then just use the airbags and the jockey wheel to fine-tune the angle. We find sitting on the bump stops means that the camper moves around a bit less at night or when we're moving around inside. Next job is to put the awnings on the window that faces out from the bed and to tighten down the tropical roof strap. In this case, I'm using a screw-in peg. Get some decent tension on that tropical roof. That helps to keep the tent cooler. Also helps prevent condensation inside the tent. Next job is to put the awning out. It's usually a two-person job, particularly if it's windy. It was a little bit breezy this day and I didn't want the awning to get folded back over the top of the camper if the wind got under it. So Suzanne's going to give me a hand. Now you do have to take a bit of care to support the weight of the arms on the awning when you're moving it. If you let them sag down under their own weight, the aluminium awning arms drag quite aggressively on the mounting bracket. A little bit hard to explain, but you'll damage your awning arms if you don't lift them up and carry the weight of them as you open them out. The first awning support to install is the vertical leg just near the access stairs. It can be a little difficult to get in the right spot, but it's really important that you seat it right down into its pocket. We tend to drop all of the awning legs as we go, just to hold the weight of it, and as soon as we can, get some guy ropes on it. Many of you will know that you can put your screw pegs directly through the bottom of the awning poles, but in this case I'm using the guy ropes. Either solution works fine. On a nice grassy site like this, we won't put a floor mat down. If it was sandy or mud or dirt, we normally just run a cheap floor mat. We were expecting clear weather on this particular night, so we haven't run the guy ropes out from the awning between the poles. The following night we were camping down near a beach and it was expected to rain, so we put all of those ropes out to form some nice rain gutters to prevent water pooling on top of the awning. We have a set of sidewalls, but we haven't used them yet. We haven't been in one place long enough, to be honest. We don't tend to stay in one camp spot more than a night or two. Awning is up. Suzanne's setting the fridge and sink slide out, and we've just about got camp made, other than the table and chairs and those odds and ends that we all tend to accumulate around camp. We tend to run two bins. We have a small crop bin that we use for kitchen scraps, and we run a pop-up garden bin actually for recycling. Most of that gets transferred into the gear bags on our spare tyres on the cruiser. We tend to pick up whatever other rubbish we can see around the campground to do our bit. If we accumulate quite a lot of rubbish and it won't fit in the gear bags on the car, we have the option of the rack that we've mounted to the Patriot X3. We can throw quite a lot of gear on that when we're leaving camp. We really enjoy getting out in our Patriot Campers X3. We think it's a great camper. Has a few of its own little problems. Anybody who follows the Facebook group, Patriot Camper Owners Official Group, will know that we throw quite a few tips up there. We call them excellent tips, and they're mainly orientated towards the X3, but they apply to other X model campers as well. That just about wraps up this particular camp setup. Thank you for coming along the ride with us. There's a lot of detail I probably didn't cover, so any questions, please throw them down in the comments section under this video, and I can get back to you either through YouTube or jump on the Patriot Camper Owners Official Group Facebook page, and you'll find me there, and throw up a question, and we'll give our best to give you an answer.